Let's explore a comprehensive guide to ensure your MongoDB deployment is production-ready, secure, and optimized for performance. This presentation outlines essential considerations for deploying MongoDB in production environments. By following this checklist, you can ensure a smooth, secure, and efficient deployment process. Now, let's see the core security measures for production deployment. First, enable authentication and create admin users with strong passwords. Next, implement role-based access control with the least privilege principle. Then, configure firewalls and restrict network access to trusted sources. Finally, enable encryption at rest and in transit using transport layer security or secure sockets layer certificates. Let's dive into Authentication Setup. Enable authentication and create an admin user. The code shows how to enable authentication in the MongoDB configuration file, that is mongod.conf, by setting authorization to enabled under the security section. It also demonstrates how to create an admin user with the username admin user, a strong password which is strong password 123!, and the root role using the db.createUser method in the MongoDB shell. Replica sets provide high availability and data redundancy. The key benefits are automatic failover for high availability, data redundancy across multiple nodes, read scaling with secondary replicas, and zero downtime maintenance operations. It is recommended to have a minimum of 3 nodes, 1 primary and 2 secondary. The primary node handles all write operations, while the secondary nodes replicate the data from the primary node. Here's a comprehensive data protection approach. Implement automated snapshots using MongoDump or MongoDB Atlas backup on a daily schedule. This enables restoration to specific timestamps for disaster recovery. Store backups in separate geographic locations using cloud storage across multiple regions, which protects against data center failures and natural disasters. Let's consider index strategies and query optimization. The code shows essential index creation examples. The first example is a single field index created on the email field in the user's collection. The second example is a compound index created on the status and created _AT fields in the orders collection. The third example is a text index created on the title and description fields in the products collection for enabling search functionality. These are the critical metrics to track in production. For performance metrics, monitor query execution time with alert threshold greater than 100 milliseconds, connection pool usage with alert threshold greater than 80%, and index hit ratio with alert threshold less than 95%. For resource metrics, monitor memory utilization with alert threshold greater than 85%, disk space usage with alert threshold greater than 80%, and CPU utilization with alert threshold greater than 75%. For replication health, monitor replication lag with alert threshold greater than 10 seconds, secondary availability with alert threshold less than 2 nodes, and oplog window with alert threshold less than 24 hours. For application metrics, monitor error rate with alert threshold greater than 1%, transaction throughput with a baseline, and lock contention with alert threshold greater than 5%. Here are the recommended specifications for production deployment. For compute resources, it is recommended to have 8+ CPU cores, 32 GB plus random access memory, 10 GB per second plus network, and a Linux 64-bit operating system. For storage requirements, it is recommended to have solid-state drive, non-volatile memory express for data storage, 10,000 plus input-output operations per second performance, separate solid-state drive, non-volatile memory express for journal storage, and a separate disk for log storage. Separate storage volumes for optimal performance. These are the production-ready mongod.conf settings. The code shows essential mongod.conf configuration settings. For memory and cache settings, it sets the cache size GB to 24 GB under the Wired Tiger engine configuration. For connection and performance, it sets the max incoming connections to 1000 and enables compression using Snappy and Z standard compressors. For profiling and logging, it sets the slowup threshold EMS to 100 milliseconds and the mode to slowup to enable slow operation profiling. Let's do a final verification before going live. For security and access, verify that authentication is enabled, admin users are created, the firewall is configured, and transport layer security or secure sockets layer is enabled. For infrastructure, verify that a replica set is configured, a backup strategy is implemented, monitoring setup is complete, and performance indexes are created. Now your MongoDB deployment is ready for production. Good luck! If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.